Too much mud, sipping on junk the reaper, nigga. Scroll through pictures of myself, gotta face my demons, nigga. If no one else, I'ma do it myself, I plan to leave a nigga. Front on, I'm gon' lead on my own. Hustlin', ballin', got it right now, I'm strong.
Yo, what it do is your boy KaviusTv, man. We back with another video. We back with another reaction video. Today's video, this title, we got Kobe Bryant, most badass moments. Y'all know how much we love the Black Mamba, man. How much we love that. So we finna get into it, man. Get your popcorn ready, man. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Comment with a video you want to see. And just let me know, man. We just gonna get into it. Like I say, get your popcorn ready, man. Let's go. Let's get into it.
Kobe Bryant made countless game-changing shots, schooled top-tier players, and pissed off a lot of fans. Off the court, he was unfiltered, unapologetic, and one of the coldest NBA players ever. Here are Kobe Bryant's most badass moments. Swimming with sharks. The shark story is the craziest and most badass example of Kobe's Mamba mentality, and it involves Rob Pelinka. Before Pelinka became a general manager for the Lakers, he was Kobe's agent. Pelinka represented many famous players, but Kobe was more than a client. Rob and Kobe became the closest of friends, and one day they decided to rent a boat because Kobe had an insane idea. He wanted to swim with great white sharks. Kobe believed that swimming with sharks would eliminate every fear he could ever face on the basketball court. He also studied how the great whites attack seals in order to improve his game against Allen Iverson. That's how crazy and obsessed he was with the game of basketball, and pushed himself to get better. Of course, this wasn't the only weird thing that Kobe did to improve his skills. He also learned tap dancing to strengthen his ankles. He played outside when the sun was brightest to train his eyes, and watched how cheetahs use their tail for balance, just so he could improve his fadeaway jumper. For 2 years straight, Kobe listened to the song that the Celtics fans sang when he lost the championship against Boston. He listened to the song every day to bring him back to the moment of the loss, which would only motivate him to work harder. So, what is the meaning of the Mamba mentality? It is to be willing to swim with the sharks in order to get better at something. Quarter of an inch. This crazy story comes from Gerald Henderson's first game against the Lakers, or more precisely, in the moments before the game. Henderson was a rookie in Charlotte, and he arrived at the pregame shoot-around early to prepare for Kobe. Of course, when he arrived, Bryant was already in the arena putting up shot after shot. Henderson decided to skip his shooting drills and watch the great master at work. But to his surprise, Mamba was missing a lot more shots than he was making. Finally, Kobe stopped shooting and started to talk to a bunch of workers. After a while, one of them came back with a ladder. Gerald then asked Kobe, "What's going on?" "Something's wrong with the rim. It's too low. I was missing shots that I don't miss. I'm pretty sure it's low by a quarter of an inch." Henderson thought that it was nonsense that he could tell a quarter of an inch on a 10-foot rim, and that Kobe was just missing shots. But after the game, Henderson saw one of the arena workers who was measuring the basket. "Hey, what was wrong with the basket earlier?" Gerald asked. "Oh, it was a little bit too low," the worker replied. "By how much?" Henderson asked, even though he already knew the answer. It was by a quarter of an inch. Kobe was just that good, that well prepared, and so sure of himself that he could see a 0.2% difference in the basket height. Matt Barnes' ball fake. Kobe was one of the toughest NBA players ever, and he wouldn't get intimidated by anyone. At the age of 19, Bryant got into a fist fight with Shaq, even though O'Neal outweighed him by over 100 pounds. Kobe had memorable on-court altercations with Reggie Miller, Ron Artest, and Dwight Howard, and the whole league knew that they shouldn't mess with the Black Mamba. However, Matt Barnes wanted to test the theory himself. So in 2009, playing against the Lakers, Barnes was taking the ball out of bounds, with Kobe right in front of him, and Matt faked the pass millimeters in front of Kobe's face, who didn't even flinch. This moment became the epitome of Bryant's badass attitude, and showed how cool he was under pressure. Next season, Kobe invited Barnes to play for the Lakers, saying that if he's crazy enough to F with him, he should be crazy enough to play with him. One more than Shaq. During the 2010 final series against Boston, Kobe was severely injured, but he kept playing despite a gruesome bone spur in his ankle. The pain was so bad that he had to receive injections just so he could play. And to make things worse, Kobe played the entire postseason with a broken finger. Against all odds, and going against 4 future Hall of Famers, Kobe won the series in 7 games, and delivered another championship to LA. Then to top things off, he followed it up with one of the most iconic press conference moments in NBA history. When a reporter asked Kobe what did the 5th title mean for him personally, Kobe cracked open a wide smile and said, "Just got one more than Shaq. You can take that to the bank." 2 years earlier, after the Lakers lost the 2008 finals, Shaq Shaq appeared in a club and rapped about Kobe's loss. O'Neal bragged that Bryant couldn't win without him, with a legendary diss, asking Kobe how his ass tastes. 2 championships later, Kobe finally had more titles and the bragging rights over Shaq. Saltier than the Dead Sea, Mamba wasted no time rubbing it in Shaq's face, and O'Neal tore up his house when he heard what Kobe said after the game. Torn Achilles, April 12th, 2013, is the infamous date that brought an end to the athletic Kobe Bryant. In the month prior to that devastating day, a 34-year-old Kobe was averaging over 40 minutes per game, putting the Lakers on his back to make the playoffs. In the fourth quarter of a close game against Golden State, Bryant fell down on a drive against Harrison Barnes. Kobe heard a pop and felt a sharp pain in his Achilles, and he knew it immediately. He knew that his season was over and that he'll need to have a long recovery. But again, the job was not done. Kobe stepped on the line, and we could see that his eyes were tearing up, but he still needed to make 2 free throws. Of course, Kobe being Kobe, he nailed them both, and then walked off the court on his own with a torn Achilles tendon. In a post-game interview, crying and full of angry rage, Bryant swore that he'll come back. Just 8 months later, he was back on the court, setting an NBA record for the quickest return after a torn Achilles. That's why Kobe was one of the toughest MFers in the history of all sports. Pulling an all-nighter. For Wilt Chamberlain, pulling an all-nighter meant adding another point to the tally of 20,000. Jordan used to pull all-nighters at the casino, while Iverson and countless others were out in the club. But Kobe, he was known for pulling all-nighters in the gym. There are a million stories about Kobe's work ethic, dating from his high school days, when he used to sneak to the gym at night and work on his game. But our favorite story came before the 2012 Olympics from the Team USA trainer. At 4 in the morning, Kobe woke up the trainer to help him with some conditioning drill. When he arrived at the facility, Kobe was already drenched in sweat. Then they worked out for 2 hours until 7, and the trainer left to catch a few hours of sleep. When the groggy and underslept trainer returned for the team practice at 11, Kobe was still shooting. This badass maniac never left the gym because he wanted to make 800 shots. That means that he spent 8 hours in the gym, plus the 2 hours of practice with LeBron and the rest of the Team USA. This kind of torture at the age of 34 may seem crazy to most people, but it was just another all-nighter for Kobe, doing what he loved the most. 40-mile bike ride.
I mean, Kobe that just shows you right there, like, he was different, man. He had that Mamba mentality. Like, you did 8 hours in the gym, bro. That's like going to work, bro. Doing 8 hours and then putting in overtime. Bro, Kobe was really doing that, bro. That just shows how bad he wanted it. Shows you why he's the greatest of all time, bro. Like, it's crazy.
Jordan and Kobe Bryant had the same personal trainer, and it was Tim Grover. Kobe told Grover that he wanted to include cycling in his summer conditioning program to relieve the stress on his knees. Before the 2008 Olympics, during the Team USA summer camp, Kobe, his security guard, and Grover rented 3 bikes and went for a ride in the middle of the night. They rode 40 miles into the desert and came back to the Las Vegas hotel at 2 in the morning. Of course, at 7 a.m., Kobe was already shooting in the gym. If you didn't know, Kobe was always sleeping 3 to 4 hours each night, and he swore that he always had enough energy. LeBron sleeps up to 10 hours a day to recover, but I guess that Kobe was just built different. 55 on MJ. In late 2002, a 39-year-old Michael Jordan was playing for the Wizards in the last season of his career, and even though his sneakers were still named Air Jordan, MJ was no longer as athletic and couldn't levitate like before. At that point, Bryant already had 3 championships. He was the best shooting guard in the NBA, and everybody was comparing him to Michael. When the Wizards hosted the Lakers, the entire world expected to see Bryant dominating the aging Jordan. However, the master had surprisingly outdone the student, and the Wizards won the game at the buzzer. Jordan then trash-talked Bryant, teasing him about the loss and saying that Kobe could wear his shoes, but that he will never fill them. Those words drove Kobe insane, because he always wanted to be like Mike. He didn't speak to his teammates for weeks, until the March game against the Wizards at the Staples Center. It was the last time Jordan and Kobe ever played against each other, and Mamba made sure that Michael would remember it forever. Bryant went on a tear and absolutely annihilated the Wizards with 55 points in a spectacular shooting performance. This proved that it's foolish to ever talk trash to Kobe, even if your name is Michael Jordan. In 2006, a very similar thing happened with Andre Iguodala, who held Kobe to just 17 points in a victory of his Sixers over the Lakers. The media made a big deal out of Iguodala's defense, and Kobe remembered that. The next time they played each other, Kobe came to the Sixers locker room before the game and told told Iguodala that he was going to drop 50 on it. He said what he was going to do and destroyed Iggy. Bryant finished with 48 points, but only because it was a blowout and he didn't play in the last quarter. Is the job finished? Kobe played spectacularly in the 2009 Finals Game 2 against the Magic. He finished with 29 points and 8 assists, pushing the Lakers to a 2-0 lead. In the post-game interview, the reporter asked Bryant why he was frowning and why he wasn't happy after a big win. With a blank stare, Kobe replied, "What's there to be happy about? Job's not finished." Is the job finished? I don't think so. It was a classic Mamba quote, and another example of this killer's dark energy and ultimate focus to win. Dropping 60 and mentoring. In November of 2015, when Kobe wrote Dear Basketball and announced that he was retiring, we suddenly saw a change in Kobe. For the first time in his career, he was no longer fighting for a championship. He was not trying to get better at basketball, and was no longer the mean-faced killer he was for 19 years. His personality opened to a degree we've never seen before. Number 24 was smiling and laughing at every interview, told stories, and showed us his humbleness, his intellect, and sense of humor. His body was killing him, and his stats were awful, but we didn't care. We liked the new Kobe. However, in the last game of his career, this superhero somehow found the strength to score 60 points against the Jazz, which was arguably the most badass finish to any sports career ever. After he retired, Kobe became one of the favorite guests on talk shows. He launched a successful career in writing and public.
I remember watching that game before. I stayed up because over there it's like it's 10. It's over there. It might be 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock over here. So I remember up watching that game and I had to go to school the next morning. I was so tired, bro, just because I was watching that game. I had to see Kobe last game. I had to watch it. So I stayed up, and I had to go to school the next morning.
And Dear Basketball won an Oscar. But even though he didn't play anymore, Kobe was still loyal to the orange ball he fell in love with as a 6-year-old. In 2017, after Isaiah Thomas lost his sister during the NBA playoffs, Kobe was on the phone with him for several hours after each game, giving basketball advice. When the Cavs won a championship, Kobe was the first person Kyrie Irving called. Bryant mentored and offered his immense basketball knowledge to a lot of NBA players. He was one of the best promoters of women's basketball, and his books have inspired millions of kids worldwide. Even after basketball, Kobe poured the Mamba mentality into everything he was doing and kept being a badass.
Man, if y'all enjoyed this video, man, comment and subscribe. Comment what video I want to see next. And I'm going to react to it, man. See y'all next video, man.